Um, video. Man, it's just not working. Okay, that's cool. All right. So where to begin? Okay, so last session we talked about um, the 12 principles of animation. Right. So we went through that and we talked a little bit about bringing characters, bringing performances to life. Now, one of the things that I kind of wanted to start off talking about this morning is that there tends to be I guess, a formulaic approach. Not a formulaic approach. I think there tends to be a technical way of thinking when approaching animation that's quite dangerous. Right? Now, we're going to have access to a lot of technological terminology. Well, we'll be using a lot of sort of computer graphics terminology, and we're going to be quite tech heavy in our approaches to animating. But at the very heart of being an animator is understanding what it is you're trying to do when you're creating an animation, right? Um, Whether it's a character or actually even if it's a mechanical or robotic, say you're doing you're animating a load lifter or something like that, or you're animating a weapon reload moment, right? So what is it that we're trying to do as animators? What is the one thing that we have to stay focused on? The most important aspect of animation. Anyone? Anyone? See, I'm going to ask loads of questions so I can sit there and wait and then have my breakfast. Eating an orange, can't talk. All right. Yeah, telling a story. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Right. But I think let's take that one step further. It's more than telling a story, right? And adding life to something. Oh, you're going backwards. Actually, telling a story is what I want to build on. Now, conveying a personality for the characters. Yeah, kind of. But let me put this to you another way, right? Telling a story. Yeah, that's true. But don't newsreaders tell us a story when we're watching the news? Don't documentary filmmakers tell us a story? Right? When they're relaying a documentary? Don't history teachers tell us a story when they're teaching us about history? And we get story from all of these different sources. Animation's different. Here's what I mean about digging deeper and thinking deeper, right? I'm going to push you guys into areas of thinking that you probably never thought of before. And I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. Because an earlier, adding life to something, yeah, that's the kind of answer that you would usually kind of say in the beginning of your career as an animator. But I'm digging deeper and saying, Tom, why do you want to animate? What to you is life, right? Adding life to something, I could watch a lizard crawl across the floor. It's alive. It's life. There we go. A story that evokes feeling. Get the viewer to connect to the animation in some way, right? Now, this is really kind of important, right? And I'll tell you why it's really important that we explore this and understand what we're trying to do, right? We are trying to create that emotional depth of character using a computer. That's incredibly difficult. There are many, many roadblocks along the way. One of the roadblocks I would tell you is you could have a moment where in your story, your character might be pointing and going, you, right? And you might animate that, right? And then you run into gimbal lock. So the hand comes up and it goes, you, and then you try to fix the gimbal lock, and then the hand comes up and you fixed it, but the finger's not pointing out. And then you're just like trying to fix it, and then you got the stagger going, "Ew," but the stagger's not happening. And it doesn't work, and it's broken. So you always see is the stagger of the head going, "Ew," and then you're just like, I give up. I give up. I'm frustrated. Maya's just acting crazy, right? I'm just going to take this, I'm just going to rotate it slightly, I'm going to hold it there, and the character's just going to start the scene like this, and it's just going to go, "You," and then you leave it. You're just like, fine, done, render, I'm finished. And you've completely lost what it means to be an animator. Completely lost it, right? Because the point at the screen and the guy going, "You," that's the intensity of the story. That's the emotion of the moment. That character has to point the finger at the camera to punctuate a point, right? Yeah, but you get my meaning, right? And I'm being super sort of high level with it, but it's at the heart of some of the problems you might encounter as an animator. You will get lost in technical problem solving that you completely forget what it is you're trying to do, right? So it's kind of like legal point. Come on, guys, get off the pointing. I was trying to make the point. Yeah, so it's really kind of important to understand that being a computer animator, you are hopping from left brain to right brain, back and forth, and that is surprisingly difficult for a lot of people until you get into kind of a rhythm of things, right? This is why I spend a lot of time talking about how joints need to be oriented, how to solve gimbal lock, what's at the heart of rotations, right? Because when you run into these problems, you can say, I need my character to point. I don't care if it's a UI, they have to point. And then you know how to problem solve all the different things that are going on. So when the fist comes up like this and it's twisted at the wrong angle, you put that gimbal lock. Oh, I need to zero the joints out, set it back to normal, and then et cetera, et cetera. Get off the point. I'm trying to make a point. That's funny. Okay, so having said that, one of the things that I really kind of champion is being highly technical in the beginning before you start a project. And this is something you guys will not do, because I did not do when I was younger, because it's very, very similar to cleaning up your bedroom before you do your homework, right? None of us want to do it. We all just want to chuck our books on the bed and start doing our homework, right? But it's incredibly important that you set yourself up properly in the beginning. Otherwise, you will spend most of your time figuring out why Maya's not working, as opposed to animating and thinking about how to bring your characters to life. That's the conundrum of being a computer animator, right? So, I think I showed you guys, did I show you guys briefly the bouncing ball rig? Or not? I can't remember, because I've taught it 3 times so far this year. Last class, because I know there's some of you guys taking this class for the first time. Oh, we just talked about it. Okay, yeah. Yeah, okay, that's cool. I'm not going to go through rigging it, because I want to take my other animators through sort of jumping into a character animation at this point. Okay. So let's just sort of dive in. Now, I'm here in an open session of Maya. Oh yeah, that's one thing I wanted to sort out as well. Debating whether or not to stop the stream for this. Yeah, I'm going to stop the stream for a sec because there's something university related that we got to sort out first. Hang on.